Ariel, go ahead.
Did you want me to read your bio?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our internship roadmap. I'm going to go ahead and get us started with introducing Jan Potsman. So Jan Potsman is our Assistant Director, Supervising Paraprofessional Student Assistants at the CSUN Career Center. She played an integral role in the conceptualization and development of CSUN's Career Link, the CSUN Career Center on the YouTube channel, and the Career Center Innovation and Interactive Lab. Jan is an experienced career counselor with a master's degree in counseling with over 25 years of experience in a career with a focus on internships and over 15 years of experience providing vision and expertise to develop career readiness through multimedia. She's an advocate to advance learning through the education, facilitation, and promotion of internships. And she also believes it's essential to have a futuristic mindset in career because of, change is constant and student expectations for advanced technology is the norm. So that is Jan Potsman.
Thank you, Ariel. Okay. Oh, thank you for launching the poll, Anastasia. Please answer the questions. Okay, a few more folks, if you could fill it out. Okay, could you please keep your cameras off when you come on board, please. We are recording and we will be posting these sessions to YouTube. Okay, if you could please take a screenshot of that. Let me know when you're done.
All good to go.
Okay. Oh, as you can see that 65% of you say you have some knowledge about internships. 28% say not so much. And then we have a couple people, or one person that says they're very knowledgeable, and 5% or 3 people say that they're knowledgeable. So today, hopefully you will learn something. And we've got, let's see, let me just, there we go. So my name is Jan Potsman, and as you know, I work at CSUN, and I've been here for over 25 years. So I've been working with internships for almost that entire time. So today I'm going to share my screen with you, and you will just give me a second here. Here we go. Share my screen. And here we go. So today we're going to talk about internships in general, and if you have specific questions, you can ask those as well. But as I mentioned, I've been working with internships for really 25 years, and so there's been changes over the years, and changes, and then reverting back to the way things were. But I would say there's more and more progress and more possibilities for students than there have been in the past. So we're going to move forward here. So what is an internship? Well, an internship is a pre-professional career training experience. So it's something that happens before you go out into the world of work. But it's actually, you go into the world of work, but you just get tested. You you have a chance to go out and see what it's like, to see what environments are like that you work in. And it gives you this chance to take what you're learning in the classroom and applying it in the world of work. Okay, so why do it? Internships are important because it can give you some hands-on experience into your field of career. Again, it gets you to be able to apply your knowledge. You can clarify your goals, meaning you can really test things out and seeing if this is a pathway that you'd like to take or not. And you can develop your soft skills or your career readiness skills, as we refer to them. See what it's like to be in the world of work in a semi-paraprofessional role. And it also can lead to a job. It doesn't always lead to a job, but sometimes it will. But if it doesn't, then you can always put that information on your resume and build your resume profile. So there are some really great benefits to really getting an internship experience. I am a firm believer in internships and micro internships. I hope that you all have that type of experience before you graduate, because you really can't get that experience after you graduate. Occasionally, there might be some internship opportunities for postgrads, but not very frequently. So I hope that you have a chance to gain this experience while you're here. So how do you find an internship as we finally are emerging from the pandemic? Where are you going to find them? Well, you would go into Handshake. So rather than me linking to CareerLink, because you can also go into CareerLink, and by going into CareerLink, oh, actually, I can do that right now. You can go into CareerLink, and from CareerLink, you would go into, you would sign in, but I'm already signed in. So you would go to Handshake, Jobs, Internships, and More, and you can go directly into this section. And then when you go in here, you can log directly into Handshake, or you can look at the database that we have posted inside inside Handshake. You can go into LinkedIn, and in this section you can see you can look for internships, research opportunities, fellowships, a variety of different types of experience. We also subscribe to 3 different files that you see here. One is BuzzFile. BuzzFile is, you can look for information on a company that you might be interested in. So you can explore, you can go into an employer, you can search for them by major, by location, and also you can find out what is it that they do and how do they do it. So it's a really great database. Also, there's UniWorld. So for those of you that would like to work overseas, or if you would like to work for a foreign firm, either way, you can get that information in UniWorld. And so that's a really great opportunity. So if you want to work overseas, or if you want to work for a foreign firm in the US, UniWorld has that information. So, the company Nestle, the company that makes that delicious chocolate, well, Nestle happens to be a Swiss company. And maybe you didn't know that, but you can learn that through UniWorld. Also, going global is specifically if you want to work overseas or do an internship overseas, you can go into going global and you can do your research there. But for now, I'm going to go into Handshake. We're going to log into Handshake so you can see what you'll find there. If you will go here, go to Handshake. You just click on this. And because I've already logged in, it takes me directly into Handshake. So right now, if I was searching for internships, I can do that. But you can see what's popping up for me in my area, in my section. And it's internship week. So you can see Enterprise Holdings came out, internship week. This is learn how to create an impactful LinkedIn profile. And then up comes Disney as well. So Disney internship programs. All of these are posted inside. If you search under internship week, you will find all the sessions that are posted. So you can click on events. And if I type in internship week, you will see all the events that we are hosting this week. So there's a wide variety, but everything from our session today on internships to NASA ARCS program, to those of you who are interested in micro internships, we also have a session, or HACU, which is the Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities. They have a national internship program, and some of those programs are virtual. Some of them are in DC, but they're outstanding. So if you haven't signed out, you do not have to be Hispanic to apply and be accepted. So if those of you that are interested in that type of national internship program, please sign up for that. Okay, so if I'm looking for jobs, I clicked on jobs, and then I wanted to change because really I want to look at internships. So for some reason, it's location. I'm going to put location Los Angeles. And then I am going to look for on-site. It also has a remote section. And then it's coming up with engineering. That's because I used to have engineering in my profile. And then full-time job. No, I don't want that. I would like to go to internships and click on that. Come on, let me click on it. There we go. And you can see all these various internships that are coming up. You'll see there's one for spring 2024 Fox Technology Internship Program, publicity internships, registrations and collections paid internship for LA County Museum of Art, programming internships, distribution internships, LA for Warner Brothers, Discovery. So there's a wide variety of internships here. You can see there's one for analog design engineer, wide variety, but you can narrow your search, but that's what you can see inside Handshake. So I'm going to go back to Handshake there. I mean, back to our file. So Career Link, I went in through Career Link, but I also have had the Handshake login, so I could log in directly through Handshake. So resources, where are you going to find internships? So, you know, our number one resource is Handshake, because when employers come to us and they want to post an internship, we tell them to go through Handshake because it is our main resource. So we don't really post things in the Career Center, you know, paper occasionally we do, but we always tell the employers to post inside Handshake so it's more accessible for you. So that's where you're going to find most things. You're also going to find internships through networking. And sometimes when I say that word networking, people get chills up their spine. But networking is simple as talking to the person next to you in class. telling them what you're interested in. You know what? Maybe they have a resource for you. You can also join a club or organization. You can join organizations that are related to your major. Usually if you join a professional organization, they will give you, there's some type of student membership fee. So it's much lower than what you would pay for being a full-time member. And it's a great way to attend events and things like that. You can also connect with people within your field. You can also come to our Career Center events like you are today. And during the Career Center events, you can either connect with others, connect with the companies that are doing the presentations. They always will give you some type of email or some way for you to be able to answer for them to answer questions for you. So I said always, most of the time you will see that. And then you can come to our major job fairs. During our major job fairs, we have the fall job fair that's coming up on the 26th of October. So we hope to see you there. There'll be, I think we're going to be sold out, which brings us to around 90 or more employers that will be coming to the event. You can go to job and internship websites. I'll go over some of those a little bit later. Talk to your faculty. Your faculty will have some insights. They may have some connections for you. You will see employers will post. They will post on social media when they have opportunities available. So if there's a company that you're interested in, you can always follow them on social media and see if they are posting their internships. As well as, like I said, being part of clubs or organizations. When you join a club or organization, they typically bring in speakers that are related to your field of study. And you can, that's part of networking and connecting to find out about internship opportunities. Okay, so one of the great ways, and maybe it's not a way that you thought of to make some connections, it's informational interviews. So informational interviews are just what they sound like. You interview someone for information. So the one thing that I would like to say about informational interviews is that when you meet with a representative from the company that you're interested in, it's less scary because they're not interviewing you, you're interviewing them. So you have a list of questions that are prepared. And remember, you're trying to collect information, not there to ask for a job. But I will say the employer's interested in you. They decided to take your informational interview, so they're going to ask you questions too. I would recommend always having your resume ready because they may ask for it, because it gives them some insight into who you are. But informational interviews are typically about 20 minutes long. You can, there's lots of different ways you can connect with people. You can do that through Handshake. You can do it through LinkedIn. If there's a company that if you'd like some answers, let's say you just want to see if you're on track. Are you studying the things that you should be studying? Or is there anything else that you should be doing that you're not quite doing yet? And those are the kinds of questions that you can ask this person. And then when you're finished, ask them for a referral to another person related to your interests. And that's how you build your network. So informational interviews, I think, are key to what you want to do. I will tell you that when I was doing informational interviews, I called all these tech companies, but I was interested in doing educational outreach and community outreach. And I wanted to see if the firm did that, did some type of outreach like that. Because typically, most large firms give away their top 2% of their earnings. Some do it because they're doing it for the greater good. Some do it because it's a tax write-off, and some do it for both reasons. So for me, I wanted to find out a little bit more about these companies. So I thought, oh, these tech companies were earning a lot of money. Let's find out how they give away their money, and do they have somebody that does outreach? And so I called maybe 5 different companies, and I ended up talking to all these professionals at Hewlett Packard, at HP. And I learned so much from that. I got offered a job from that. I was not there to ask for the job. I was there to ask if my study and my experiences were on track. They offered me a job. They told me how to get a job through project-based work. They gave me so many referrals in those situations, but it isn't why I was there. I was interested, I was a music major. I was interested in working for the LA Philharmonic, or just what it would be like to work there. So I interviewed somebody and about their educational outreach and community outreach. And while I was there, a fax came over the fax machine. She picked it up, she looked at it, she goes, "Oh, this looks like something that you'd like to do." And it was a job doing community outreach from the Getty Museum. So you never know what's going to happen to you while you're there, but you have to put yourself out there in order to connect to people. And you can do that, like I said, you can do it through Handshake, you can do it through LinkedIn. Through social media is a great way. Also, there is a mentorship program through Alumni Relations that you can sign up for. Another good way to connect to others. Okay, so how do you make yourself more marketable? And some of these skills you already have and can develop, but adaptability is really one of the #1 career readiness skills that you can have. And the reason for adaptability, it's because the environments are changing all the time. And because technology is pushing the environments to change, technology advances allows us to do many, many new things, and things maybe we hadn't thought about. But as long as you're adaptable and open, you can learn those new skills while you're on the job. So adaptability is a really key component as a career readiness skill. Communications, develop your communication skills, talk to people, develop your writing skills, because every employer will be looking for this. They don't want to teach you those skills. So you can, if you're not learning those skills in the classroom, you can go into LinkedIn Learning and you can take a class in communication skills. You can take a class in any one of these things that are listed below. Creativity is really important for the new world of work. Because of machine learning and AI, some of the skills that were once maybe desired are no longer necessary, but creativity is necessary, because that comes from your brain, and it's not coming from AI. So creativity is very important. Digital fluency, so knowing how to use social media, knowing how to use different softwares, Microsoft Office. Learn Excel. You can learn Excel, how to use how to use basic Excel, again, through LinkedIn Learning. Even if it has nothing to do with your major, the more you can do that you develop your digital fluency, the better you will be in today's world and in the future. Leadership, you can develop your leadership skills. Teamwork, I would say you're going to find, hopefully you'll find that in the classroom, and you can develop those teamwork skills in the classroom and some of these other skills in the classroom as well. Leadership, again, take the lead on a project in the classroom. That will help you develop those skills. Then you can write about them. And then I say problem solving, professionalism, all of these things can be developed either through the classroom, through attending events through the Career Center. You can also learn these things through working with clubs and organizations. And then when you write about them in your resume, rather than in the skills section saying these are all your skills, just listing your skills, to employers when they see this, it's kind of a laundry list for them. So what you can do is talk about those skills. So if you can explain how you are adaptable. How does it apply for the job you're doing currently or in the past? How did you use your communication skills in your barista job? You know, you're going to describe it through your job, through your job descriptions, or excuse me, for the descriptions of the skills that you have or have completed through your on your resume. So resumes, I always include something on resumes because, again, it's about making yourself more marketable. The cleaner and more updated your resume is, the more likely the employer will consider you for a position. So for students that are recent graduates or current students, it's one page. You want to have a clean copy, meaning there are no mistakes on it. Everything's aligned appropriately on the page. You want to edit. And then what I recommend for you to do is bring that into the Career Center. Have us edit them because we will give you feedback. And then once you make those changes, bring it back to our drop-in sessions. Know that it's also a work in progress. Resumes you never stop having a resume update because change is always happening. So know that it's a document that is always going to be in process or in progress. And then somehow it doesn't seem like it's so challenging. You just add the update for whatever thing you're working on. Let's say you want to share something about your job. You go ahead and add that. So keep that in mind. Down below, you can see some of the categories. Not all of those categories are you will be using, because not all of you have publications, not all of you have done senior projects, but these are just some examples of what you might use in your resume. All right, we're going to go on to the next slide. Social media. So in our social media, this is a little pitch for us, but we do have inspirational, motivational quotes. We have videos and infographics. We have career readiness and soft skills information. We have Career Center tips and articles. So keep that in mind. You can follow us on social media because you will gain some of that information about being prepared. And then I talked about alternative websites before I go to the websites at the top. I wanted to say that there are other places to find internships. So the alternative websites are Glassdoor, Google, Indeed, internships.com, idealist.org, and as I mentioned before, Going Global and Uniworld. You can find information in there. Also, for Career Link and Handshake, you can go to our webpage, and our webpage is csun.edu/career. And then also for social media, for events, videos, career counseling, Zoom drop-in information, and in-person, both virtual and in-person services, you can go to our webpage and it'll give you all the details about it. Okay, so I want to say thank you to all of you, and I was wondering if we have any questions in the chat.
It looks like there is no questions in the chat, but if anyone has a question, feel free to write it in.
Yeah, please put your questions in the chat. We'd be
yeah.
happy to answer them.
We do have one question from Victoria, and she asks, where is the career fair going to be held?
The career fair will be held in the Northridge Center, which is adjacent to the ticket office in the USU. If you're familiar where the ticket office is, it's right, the door entrance is kitty corner to it. Also, if you're in the USU and you put your back to Subway, you will be facing the entrance to the Northridge Center, and that's right behind that giant stairwell. You can go in and you should see some of our students outside ready to check you in. Please register for the career fair.
And we have a couple
So,
more
how can
questions
we
coming
make
in.
that register?
Okay, sir, if you could please put your question in the chat. Because we are recording today, we are not taking any audio or video on camera. And we're recording and we're posting this in on our CSUN YouTube channel. So anyway, if you have a question, you can go ahead and put it in the chat. And Ariel, you can go ahead.
Yeah, so another question asking, where can we find information regarding resume workshops?
Actually, our resume workshop information is in Career Link. We don't really do live workshops. On very rare occasion, we will, for maybe a club or organization or a classroom. But for the most part, you can find it there, and you can also find it on our YouTube channel. We have a link to we have basically a resume workshop that our career counselors have created for you. So you can find it on our YouTube channel. I believe you can find it. You may be able to find it from our website too. And if you have that information, Isabel, if you can check and see if you can access them from the website, if you will, please let us know. All right, next question.
Our next question is, how do we go about making a resume for internships without any experience or anything to put on there?
Oh, we have some really good information for you in Career Link about having, if you don't, if you've not had a job before, if you've done volunteer work, you can include that. If you can also put projects that you've worked on inside the classroom. So you can post that and kind of list it in the same way that you would list a job, but you would say classroom projects or special projects. And then you say CSUN and your CSUN, maybe the class. And then you could go ahead and put the things that you did in the project. And if you took on a leadership role, you can put that in there. And if you were the person who was sending out all the reminders to the people in the group, you can put that in there. Whatever is related to the work that you've done. But we do have a sample. I believe we have a sample inside CareerLink, and that would be under the job search preparation tab. Next question.
Our next question is, are internships usually granted to freshmen?
Sometimes, not all the time. Some companies are looking for juniors and seniors because they're looking to hire them. But other companies are looking for freshmen, and I'm actually seeing that more and more. I can tell you with HACU, Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities, they will hire students the summer after their freshman year. So it would be, let's say you start in the fall and then you go to spring 2024, they would hire you for summer 2024. But you have to be, at that point, you have to be a sophomore in standing. So you would need to have at least 30 units. Okay, but that's not true for everyone. I'm seeing it more and more because they want to hire you early because they want to keep you with the company. They want to keep you employed over time too. All right, next question.
Someone asked, is internship scenario different for international students?
It is different. It depends. It depends on your major. Your major would need to be, you would need to have some majors, most majors have an internship course, and you are required to do some type of internship. If that's the case, then you can do an internship as an internship course, and you can work outside the university. If you do not have an internship component in your major, then you will not be able to do an internship outside of the university. Okay, next question.
Someone asked, what are some other mistakes that reduce your chances of getting an internship?
Mistakes. I'm not sure what you mean by that, because we all make mistakes. But I would say one thing would be, like, if you're submitting your resume and they've never met you before and you're submitting it into a session, if you have a lot of misspelling of words, if things aren't aligned on your resume properly, those kinds of things might, if they have a lot of applicants, they might say, you know, I can put this person aside because we have so many applicants that completed it correctly. So I would say that would be one thing that I would look for. And other mistakes, I'm not really sure what you mean by that. But I would say if it's your resume, in the interview process, we all can make mistakes very easily. Just try to interpret what the question is. And what I would say in an interview setting is to definitely clarify the question. If you don't understand it, ask them to clarify it for you, because you might be answering the question incorrectly if you didn't really understand what they were asking of you. So that's what I'd recommend in an interview process. Okay, next question.
A student asked about assistance with mock interviews.
We do that in the Career Center. You can make an appointment with a career counselor and they will do a mock interview with you. Just make sure when you're making the appointment, let the person know that that's what you're interested in. Next question.
Someone asked how to search for internships and full-time jobs who sponsor international students and H-1B.
Okay, you might be able to do that in Handshake. I'm not sure. And I would check out LinkedIn to see if there's a way to do that. There are different, there are ways to do it, but there's a software called Interstride. So you can check out Interstride and see if you can get some information on that. Next question.
Someone asked, is it good to use our CSUN email ID or private email to apply for jobs on LinkedIn or Handshake?
I would say while you're a student, use your CSUN ID or your CSUN email. After, the challenge is when you're transitioning. So when you graduate, you no longer get to keep your email. So when you graduate, I would say closer to graduation, switch to an email online, but make sure the email that you do have is professional. I had students send me things that said, oh, cutie and sweetie and honey. You want to refrain from that. It can have your initials, it can have your first name, last name, it can have your first initial last name and some numbers at gmail.com. And I would definitely use an email. I wouldn't use Hotmail. I look for more of a legitimate kind of email. Next question.
Next question is, would it be possible to be accepted for an internship without any work experience?
Yes. Depends on the internship. I mean, if you are applying it depends on your major, but let's say you're applying to Ernst & Young for an accountancy internship and you don't have any experience, it's probably not that likely that you'll be hired unless you have a lot of it, that you've gained a lot of experience through a club or an org, something like that. But if you don't have any experience at all, whether it be through your church or through a job, work experience, it's probably not likely that you will get to larger companies, but you never know. That's why I recommend that you always do more than one. So if you're at a smaller company, then the second time, then you go out and you apply to these larger companies. But I think it's challenging if you don't have a lot of experience or any experience at all to be considered for a larger company. But my guess is you have that experience. You need to put it on your resume because many of you have experience, whether it's through the classroom or through whether it's through an organization or school organization. That's also experience. It's maybe not work experience, but it's still experience. Keep that in mind. Okay, next.
Someone asked, what is the benefit of writing a CV?
Of writing a CV? Okay, good question. I'm glad somebody asked about CV. I meant to mention that. CVs in the United States, okay? Because in other countries outside of the United States, CVs are known as resumes are known as CVs. In the United States, the way we view a CV, CVs are typically done for education only. And if they're done for education, then they can be beyond one page because it's anything that you've done as, let's say you've done research and you're putting that in the, you want to put that in, you want to put that information on your CV, it goes on there. If you worked at a school as a teacher's assistant, that would go on there. If you volunteered at a school, that would go on there. Any part of a publication you've been part of, that would go on there. So CVs are in the US are used for educational purposes. Conferences that you attended, conferences that you spoke at. That's what goes on CVs. You can also put that information on a resume, but CVs are related to education. Okay, next question.
This one's a little bit more of a technical question. A student asked, can parents come with them to the career fair, or does registering just count for one person?
Can parents come to the career fair? That was the question?
Yes.
Typically, we don't have parents come to the career fair. If there is a special need for the parent to be with the student, usually if there is a special need, you could bring a parent to a career fair, but typically you would come on your own. You could bring samples of your resume with you. And you could come to the career table at the front of the career fair, and we would be happy to try to answer questions for you and kind of give you a pep talk and get you prepared to come. I would recommend preparing your 1-minute commercial, because your 1-minute commercial is something that you'll want. And your 1-minute commercial is just introducing yourself, saying that you're a CSUN student and what you study and why you're interested in working with this company. That's what goes in a 1-minute commercial. And so if you prepare that, probably best to do it on your own. But like I said, if you have some special needs, yes, a parent could come with you. Next question.
Next question is, someone asked, is it harder to get an internship when you're on your final year before graduation? So your senior year, and are companies going to be more interested in a profile because of this information?
I'm so glad you asked that question. Okay. Now, some companies will hire you as an intern just the summer post-graduation. Some companies won't. So I just needed you to know that all companies are different in the way they do things. I would say in your senior year, or in the fall of the year, that is when most companies are recruiting for summer. So I need you all to hear this, because it is something that's sort of an unknown to most students, but that's when they do the recruiting. They're recruiting in fall for summer. And so if you're a sophomore or a junior and you're looking for a summer internship, make sure you come to the fall job fair, and make sure you use Handshake to do your search. And if you have any questions, of course, you can come to the Career Center and ask us questions about it. Now, if you are a senior and you will be graduating, you are a current senior and you'll be graduating in May of next year. Again, you can apply for internships. If they have summer internships only, they may or may not hire you. But if they have academic internships in the fall and the spring, of course, there would be opportunity for you. Next question.
Do we have to go through a process at CSUN in order to take an internship next semester?
Great question. Yes and no. And I say that because if you're looking for an academic internship, you need to go to your department and find out. How do you apply? How do you enroll in a class for internships? What do you need to do to qualify? In the College of Business, you need to have a resume that's gone through a process called VMOC. It's a software that evaluates your resume. And so if you're in the College of Business, connect directly to the Career Education and Professional Development department. I don't have the number right at hand, but you can search, you can go onto Google and search CSUN, CSUN, and then put in CEPD, and it'll pull it all the information up, Career Education and Professional Development. Now, if you want an academic internship, you need to go to your department. If you want to take an internship and you don't need academic credit and you don't require it, then you can apply directly through the Career Center. I will say though, if the company requires you to get academic credit, then you need to be enrolled in a class. Keep that in mind. If the company, some of those internships will be paid, some will not be paid. So keep that in mind. There is also an opportunity for micro internships, and we have a session on micro internships. I believe it's tomorrow with Parker Dewey. They partner with CSUN. So if you're interested in doing those are all paid, and they're anywhere from like 2 to 40 hours long. So you decide what your schedule is like. And if they say it should take you about 10 hours to do it and you have time in your schedule, you can do that micro internship and get paid for it. And also be able to put that information on your resume. Next question.
Someone asked, how are internships like for transfer students? Are internships seeking transfer students?
Actually, it's a funny thing. Companies don't see you as a transfer student. They see you as a student that's at a certain class level. So if you are a junior in standing, they're going to see you as a junior. Once you are accepted by the university, they don't look to see whether or not you're a transfer student or you're a fully matriculated student, meaning you started in your freshman year. They're not looking for that information. So it won't make a difference to them unless they're looking for something really specific that's related to transfer students. But that's kind of rare. Next question.
Mm-hmm. Someone asked, how are graduate student internships different from undergraduate internships?
Typically, they're different in that they ask for, when they're asking for a graduate student, they're asking for a higher level of work, higher order level of work, meaning that they have certain expectations from you because you are a graduate student. You've completed your coursework for your undergraduate degree, so they assume that you know certain things because you finished your coursework. So they may ask you to do work that's a little at a higher level than what they'd ask for from an undergrad, if that makes sense. Next question.
Can alumni do internships?
Pardon me?
Can alumni do internships? The people that already graduated.
Sometimes, but you just have to read the criteria. So if you read the criteria and it's accepting you for alumni, I know that if you are interested in working for the federal government, there is a section on recent graduates and it's looking for recent graduates. So that meaning those are jobs for alumni in that way. And I believe it's the first 2 years after you graduate, or it might be the first 3 years where you can apply for a job and not have to compete with everyone in the United States, everyone that wants to apply for the job. You would be competing with other graduates from other campuses, but you're not competing with somebody who's been in the job for 5 years and they want to transfer, let's say, because they're designed specifically for recent graduates. There's also an internships that they do with the federal government, and you can look and see if you can be a recent graduate for that as well. Basically you want to look at and see if see what the criteria are and then go accordingly. Okay, next question.
Someone asked, can they do an internship in the summer and still graduate in the spring? And this is an internship specifically for academic credit.
Okay, let me see if I understand this question. If the internship is for academic credit, then you would have to be currently enrolled. Okay. If it's not for academic credit and you want experience, sometimes in some programs, they allow you to do it after you graduate. In some programs, they don't. So again, you just have to look at the criteria for the internship to see if they require you to be currently enrolled. There is a way to do it. Okay, I will say, if you've graduated and if there is something that you really want to do and they're requiring you to be currently enrolled, you can do that through community college. I know that College of the Canyons, you can enroll in an internship course and you can apply for that internship that way. So there is a way to do it, but you wouldn't be enrolled at CSUN. Okay, next question.
Someone asked, what is the difference between an internship and a micro internship? And then what are the pros and cons of a micro internship?
The difference between a micro internship and an internship is that a micro internship is really project-based work. So you work with a company. Some of those micro internships are in person, but most of them are virtual, where you work virtually. They're shorter term. Micro internships are short term. They can be 10 hours long. It could be a project that this company needs to complete. They estimate it'll take you 10 hours to do it. And it's very short term. So the benefits is that they are short term, and that you can, maybe your schedule is so busy that you're not able to do an internship, but you're able to do a micro internship, and it gives you experience by doing that. I know that there are students that have been hired as a result of their micro internships. They are all paid experiences. And we do have a speaker, like I said, I believe it's on Wednesday, and she'll be talking all about our partnership with Parker Dewey and micro internships. I hope that answered your question. Next question.
It looks like that was all the questions we had in the chat. If I missed you, feel free to retype your chat. Isabel, if there's any questions that you saw that I missed over, feel free to let me know as well.
While you're doing that, if need be, I will say micro internships I would encourage you to sign up for them. I know one of the challenges that our students have faced with the micro internships is the Q&A portion. So a lot of times employers, they'll receive your resume, but that is not where it stops. They will ask you some specific questions and they're waiting for you to answer those questions. Please answer those questions completely. If you're confused by them, ask for clarification. But I do know that that's one of the challenges, because oftentimes that's how the employer hires you, just by the results that you put it in there. So please do complete it. Ariel, did we get any other questions?
It looks like there's no further questions at this time.
Okay, well, great. Thank you so much for attending today's session. I will encourage you to come to all the other sessions, or any of the other sessions that you're interested in. The next session we will have at 2 p.m. will be Lockheed Martin. And oh, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming. Lockheed Martin, and then we have Vanguard internship program at 4 p.m. And then tomorrow we have more internships coming up. So we will send out in the morning, you will get an email from us of all the internships that are, or all the presentations we have for the day. But also I would like you to consider going into Handshake and viewing all the opportunities in Handshake, and you can sign up that way. Okay, thank you all so much, and bye-bye.